everyone, welcome to your next episode of Cooking with Nichole. This is part 2 of the meal and a side dish video series. So we earlier did the keto wild rice with the hemp hearts, and now we're going to do the burger patties with the mushroom gravy. So what I have right here is my big Bertha pan, love my big pan right here, and we are going to start to heat 3 tablespoons of olive oil just to make sure that our burger patties don't stick to the bottom of our pan. And we're just gonna whip this around here so the whole bottom of the pan is evenly coated. I already had the pan preheating before we started the video, so it's all nice and warm. You can see here how the oil is already starting to stream and buckle, and that is a good sign that your pan is warm and ready to go. I have pre-pattied here 2 pounds of burger made into burger patties, and this recipe is going to make 8 burger patties. So we might have to do this in 2 sections because we may not be able to get all of the burgers in the pan all at one time, and that's totally okay. For right now, we're going to start out here with, I think I can get 5 of the burger patties in here, and that's where we'll start without overcrowding the pan. You don't want to crowd your pan too much, otherwise things don't cook down the way you want them to. What I seasoned the burger with was just some, I love the McCormick's Montreal seasoning, and so I just did 2 tablespoons of the Montreal seasoning mixed into the 2 pounds of burger, patted them together, and then here we go. We're gonna cook these on both sides until they are nearly done, or register on a meat thermometer at about 135. Don't worry that that isn't the complete doneness of beef, because we're gonna take them out of the pan, deglaze the pan to make our gravy, and then we're gonna add them back in at the end to warm it up and to have everything marry together. We'll bring you back when the burger patties are done. All right, welcome back. As you can see, we've got our burgers browned and cooked. And so I took them out of the pan and put them on a plate, and they're gonna rest here as we are making our gravy and deglazing the pan. So what does deglazing mean? Well, deglazing means is that we are going to take all of the yummy goodness from the cooking of the burgers, the brown little bits of all of the yummy flavor on the bottom of this pan, and we're gonna kick it all up as we make our gravy. So I did not drain the fat from the burger. I used 93% lean burger, so there wasn't a lot of fat coming off of the ground burger itself. It's mostly some of the burger, but mostly still that 3 tablespoons of olive oil that we put in here. I should have mentioned also that each of these burgers are approximately 4 ounces in size. So 2 pounds of burger, each burger is 4 ounces. So just for your reference as you're making them. So to deglaze the pan, when I took the burgers out of the pan and put them on the plate, I turned my heat down to low. And we're gonna turn this up just slightly so it doesn't start to splatter us here. And we're going to use 2 cups of beef broth to deglaze the bottom of our pan. And so I've got my 2 cups of beef broth here, and we're just going to slowly stir this in and scrape all of the brown, yummy flavor bits off of the bottom here. Sometimes, like on the cooking channel and that kind of thing, when you're watching those types of things, they'll deglaze the pan with like wine, a white wine, or a cooking sherry, and we certainly could have done that too. I just didn't have any on hand, and so I'm just going to use some beef broth tonight. And I'm gonna turn up my heat here, and we're gonna go to more of a medium-high heat. We're just gonna continue to scrape all of the yummy goodness off the bottom. And once you feel like you've got all of that yummy goodness scraped off of the bottom, there should be no catches. You'll know that you have it all off because your spatula doesn't catch anymore on the bottom of the pan. And then we're going to add into this 1 packet of herb gravy for beef. I love this herb gravy. It's amazing. You can find it in all of the other seasoning packets, or where you would find all of the other seasonings for gravies as well. And so we are just going to sprinkle this in. Now if you can't find the herb gravy one, a beef gravy one would work, an au jus would work, but I really prefer this herbed gravy mix. And we're just going to kind of whisk this in here, and this is going to help thicken up the broth and the oils that were left in the bottom of the pan. And I'm just going to turn up my heat a little bit because the oil should no longer spatter at us. I got hit a couple of times as I was taking the burger patties out, so you always want to turn your heat down when you're taking the lid off of your pan. So we're going to get this all well and combined until there are no visible pockets of powder left on the surface, which I don't see any. So that is going to thicken up nicely. And then to this, I'm going to add 1 beef bouillon flavor cube. I like the Noir flavor cube because this is going to add just a nice, rich, home-cooked seasoning to this, almost really make it taste like it been sitting in the crock pot all day long. So we're going to add that in, and that's going to continue to cook down itself. And we're going to add in then approximately 16 ounces of mushrooms. You don't have to cut these if you don't want to. You certainly don't have to use mushrooms if you don't want to, even though the recipe is for herbed gravy or mushroom gravy. You certainly don't have to. Now, these are going to cook down considerably, so don't worry about like, well, oh my gosh, Nichole, that's a lot of mushrooms. There's going to be no room for your burger patties. These are going to cook down tremendously. And if it does look like that the broth gets a little thick, you can certainly thin it out with some more beef broth if you would like. This would be a good opportunity to season this. And then once we get it seasoned, the last part of the mix is 1 can of beefy mushroom soup. So that's why I'm not really concerned about the amount of mushrooms in here, because 1, they're going to cook down, but 2, we're adding yet another liquid into this. So this is going to create a fabulous gravy or sauce for our patties, which can be served alongside the hemp wild rice that we made in the video previous to this one, or you could serve it on top of some cauliflower mashed potatoes, or serve it alongside some asparagus or some steamed broccoli, whatever you would prefer. Lots of options with this hearty meal here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and serve this up, and we'll bring you back when the gravy is ready to have the burgers added back in. Once you do that, you only have to simmer for probably about 5 minutes, just until the burger patties incorporate and kind of finish doing their cooking process. And then it's ready to go, and then it's ready to serve. But we'll bring you all back once the gravy is ready. All right, everyone, so our gravy is cooked down a little bit and the mushrooms have shrunk down in size. So the last step is just essentially adding the hamburger patties back into the gravy, letting them rewarm and finish their cooking process. You're gonna let this simmer for probably another 5 minutes after that, and then it's time to serve. It's gonna be an awesome taste with the hemp wild white rice. I'm really excited to try that tonight. I'll have all of the nutrition facts information for you with the post, and posted with the recipe at the end of this video. This is your sweet deal. I hope you enjoy this meal. Have a great evening.